For today's Cyber CEO episode,
our Cyberbacker works with us on pretty major amount of email marketing processes. Video editing is a big component, and there is some light like graphic design stuff going on as well. And so that's where our Cyberbacker spends the vast majority of his time. He brings amazing energy with him. An avid learner and excited to grow and develop professionally. He seems genuinely excited about learning about our company and growing within it. He's highly responsive. This is not a guy that's just going to administer the tasks. He is going to plus up the quality of our video messaging, which is huge. We're excited about that.
Welcome to Cyber CEO, wherein we talk about how our Cyberbackers helped our Cyber CEOs take their businesses to the next level. Cyber CEO is powered by Cyberbacker, the world's leading provider of admin support services from anywhere in the world to anyone in the world. Please visit our website www.cyberbacker.com for more details. Another awesome day here at Cyberbacker. My name is Jello. We're back with another episode of Cyber CEO. And of course, we have a very special guest on the show. Peter, how are you doing today?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you very much for
Good.
asking.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. We're very excited to have you again. I know you have a lot of things to do. Really appreciate you being here. Now, to start things off, to let you know, we have a lot of listeners who are business owners, just like yourself. So I need your help. Can you introduce yourself to our audience? Maybe we can start with, what's your role in the business, Peter?
Sure. My name is Peter 𝗔𝗰𝗶𝗹. I am a residential real estate agent. I run what's considered a mega team here in the Cincinnati area. In 2022, we closed just shy of 400 units for about 110 million in volume. I've been in the industry for 2 decades now. I got licensed in 2002. I own a Keller Williams franchise and title company.
So I'm just assuming here it must be very busy every day and a lot of experience in the real estate world for you. Now, how about working with someone virtual, just like what you're doing now with your Cyberbacker? Is this your first time to do it?
So we currently have 3 VAs working full-time for the company prior to us working with Cyberbacker. So we were familiar with the concept of working with somebody virtually, but this was our first experience working with Cyberbacker.
Okay. So how were you introduced to Cyberbacker anyway?
Well, I'm in Keller Williams and have been for about 16 years. So I was familiar with the Cyberbacker brand. I had colleagues that were using Cyberbacker. We had been happy working with another company and didn't feel the need to rock the boat by switching to another company. Recently, I believe Cyberbacker created regional franchisees. And so when the Ohio Valley region of Keller Williams, which is what I'm a part of, sponsored a regional training event, I realized that there was sort of a local face to the Cyberbacker service in my own backyard here in Cincinnati, where I live. And so when we realized we had the need for another full-time virtual professional, that's when I reached out to them to see if they could help us the same or better than the company that we were using in the past.
So better, of course. Now, talk to me more about the experience then with Cyberbacker. First, the hiring process. How was the hiring process for you? Was it something different?
No, it was pretty similar to what we were familiar with the previous company. But it was good to see that it was equal to, if not better, it was certainly equal to the company that we had used prior to. It's a smart process, right? You create a job. I create a job description, and you guys go through it to make sure you have a good understanding of that job description, which I think is great in terms of communicating expectations. We identified what the metrics were for success, how we were going to know if the Cyberbacker was contributing to the company's goals directly, which I think is important. And I appreciated the assessments that were conducted with the candidates prior to the interview. I liked that there was a resume for each candidate as well as examples of their work as it related to the job description. I thought that was great. And so, I reviewed each candidate's resume, work, and assessments prior to the interviews. So when I also like the speed round concept. of going through 5 or 6 candidates in an hour or an hour and a half, whatever it takes. I think that's good. It's efficient. The thing that I like about the Cyberbacker hiring process is it saves me a ton of time. Screening candidates, casting the net, screening those candidates and getting to that point. I mean, probably saved me 40 to 60 hours of time, which for me is priceless.
Yeah, true. Because again, if you go do the, schedule the appointments, schedule the interviews, do the interviews, it would really take a lot of time. So, of course, here in
Cyberbacker, that's exactly right.
Take advantage, of course, and of course, give you just the best of the best. Now, more about your Cyberbacker. Then, talk to me about the tasks. What are the things that you let your Cyberbacker do today?
For us, it is a marketing role. We have 2 different marketing campaigns going on with 2 different agendas or 2 different goals. And so our Cyberbacker is one of the campaigns. It's primarily a video email campaign. For those if you have people from KW that are listening to this, it's a 36 touch campaign where we're sending out video emails on behalf of our agents to their spheres to generate leads. The other marketing effort that we do is a like a realtor community give back program where we're sending out educational videos over email, as well as through YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and a blog. And so the Cyberbacker works with us on a pretty major amount of email marketing processes. Video editing is a big component, really big component of the work. And there is some light, like graphic design stuff going on as well. And so that's where our Cyberbacker spends the vast majority of his time is in. So it's succinctly said, it's email marketing and video editing.
Gotcha. So really mostly on the marketing side then. Now, I forgot to ask earlier, how long have you been working with your Cyberbacker, by the way?
So I was working with our initial Cyberbacker for 3 months and then with our new one for a month. And I'm not sure you really want to hear this on a blog, but I think it's worth saying is there was some disconnects between the Cyberbacker and the Cyberbacker, the company. And there were some issues. And one of the things that I say or that I believe is that sometimes the best measurement of a company isn't when they make a mistake, it's how they own it. And the thing that really made a difference for me is that when Cyberbacker made a mistake, they owned the mistake and they fixed it. And so I've only been working with my new Cyberbacker for a month, but the way Cyberbacker owned the error and fixed it and resolved it said a lot about the company and its integrity and my ability to trust him as a long-term partner in my business.
Here we go. Because of course, here in Cyberbacker, we always make sure that if ever it doesn't match up for your first Cyberbacker, we try and make sure that it doesn't happen again. That's why we have a team of Cyberbackers to help you as well when it comes to that case. Now, talk to me about a virtual partnership. How do you create a successful partnership with someone who's virtual? Do you have any tips that you can share?
Yeah, I mean, I think, when you can't get in front of somebody and get all of the body language and stuff as part of human communication, and you have different cultural references, and oftentimes English can be a second language for Cyberbackers. Your audience is American business owners, right? That's who's listening to this podcast. Yeah, so there's a lot. If you haven't used a virtual professional before, there's a valid level of anxiety and concern about, communication barriers, right? Or misunderstandings. And it's a little bit of a leap of faith, but the number one thing is communication. It's not just the Cyberbacker's communication. It's the business owner's ability to consistently and clearly communicate to the Cyberbacker, the virtual professional, things like expectations and processes and feedback, rewarding, good work, right? Like all of that, all the things that you would do for an stateside that was just, outside of your office, you just have to bring a little bit more energy and a little bit more intentionality to it because you've lost the ability to casually communicate ideas and feedback and constructive criticism. So it just requires a little bit more intentional communication from the business owner. Beyond that, I really just think it is let me back up a second. I don't know if this is an American perception or if this is just natural human nature. But I think when somebody doesn't speak your language, you can assume that they are not as intelligent as you. When their language is not your native language, you can sometimes think that they're not as smart. And that's of course not true, right? And one of the things that I'm always reminded when I work with virtual professionals is that just because they don't grasp all the nuances of English doesn't mean they aren't as smart or smarter than I am. And I'm always surprised when I go into a new relationship with a virtual professional and realize some of the quality work and some of the quality thinking that they can bring to the table, right? This is not like an administrative garbage can where I just drop crappy tasks into it. There's really the opportunity to get great feedback, great work, great creativity, and some great thinking around processes and sometimes even creative work. So that would be one thing. The other thing that I would say is every great working relationship is built on trust. And trust is built with people who show up with integrity. So for me, doing what you say you're going to do is how you win my trust, right? And so trust is earned. And I think that the cyberbacker, the virtual professional, also has to kind of trust you and know that it's okay to take risks and make mistakes. So for the cyberbacker, you've got to show up and deliver what you're supposed to deliver. For the business owner, you've got to provide, positive feedback, but also constructive feedback in a way where people understand it's okay to make mistakes because that's where we learn. And I think a lot of times business owners are moving too quickly, especially small business owners, and don't pump the brakes enough to celebrate what was good about the effort and what could be done better. And so it's just really important that business owners that are new to virtual professionals know about the importance of quality feedback versus off-the-cuff feedback.
So basically what you mean to say is just it's really a lot about the trust and the communication that you build on with your cyberbacker, especially I think during the beginning of the partnership, right?
Yeah. 100%. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And then you get into a rhythm and a routine and it's cool. But that first month or 2 or 3, it's really important that you slow down and really focus on and invest in that relationship before you pick up and go fast again. Totally. That's a really good point.
100% agree with you there. Now, one last thing. For sure, your cyberbacker is going to be able to listen and watch this once we have this online. So we'd like to know, what do you like most about your cyberbacker? What's the first thing that comes to mind when we talk about him?
First of all, he brings amazing energy with him, right? He brings great energy with him. He is an avid learner and excited to grow and develop professionally. He seems genuinely excited about learning about our company and growing within it. He's highly responsive, and he has a good. Remember, we're doing a ton of video editing, so he has a good. And this is the reason I hired him. You guys provided some really strong candidates. The reason I hired this individual was because he has experience with video editing. He has a good creative eye for improving the video product, and it was between him and 2 other cyberbackers candidates. And actually I went onto his YouTube blog and watched some of his videos to see how he was editing his own product, which was really good. And so I emailed and asked CareerBacker to share with him some of our videos and to give some feedback on where he felt we could improve our videos. And his feedback was excellent. It was respectful. But it was also insightful, and we realized that there were some gaps in what we were doing between what he said and what we saw him doing. This is not a guy that's just going to administer the tasks. He is going to plus up the quality of our video messaging, which is huge. We're excited about that.
Now, we too are very, very excited to see where this partnership grows to, of course, for the next couple of months.
For sure.
Again, Peter, thank you very much for dropping by today. I had fun talking to you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to our daily dose of CyberCEO. Stay tuned to know more about how Cyberbacker creates a difference in this digital time and age. You can visit our website www.cyberbacker.com and follow our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Spotify.